So the first step you want to do is build a hole in this shape. Build a hole, dig a hole. Yeah. So first step down is 2 blocks, 3 blocks, 3 blocks, and it's just symmetrical. So that's the shape of your hole right there. And once you dig that out, the next thing that you need to do is you need to come in with pistons, and you need to here all the way across. Then you need to break this block behind it, and you need to put in the back. You need to add redstone. Add redstone all the way across, and then grab a trapdoor real quick. Do this and place in your observers all the way across as well. Once you've done that, you just need to repeat it on the other side as well as on other levels. So you do the same thing up here. Redstone would go right here. Pistons would go right there. You get the idea. Alright, once you have all of the pistons, observers, and redstone dust in, it should be looking like this. So you have the same shaped hole. Your observers will be sticking up 1 block above the ground level, and the next step is going to be to fill things up with water. This is where it gets a little tricky. You want to put one in, you want to alternate corners, so it's just like you're making an infinite water source. You can do it a little faster if you just get this corner, and then this corner, this corner, and this corner, etc. all the way until you reach the end. And then same thing on this layer, and you want to keep doing the same type of thing all the way until you fill it up through the top. When you get to these wider levels, it gets a little bit easier, as once you have that first row, you can just place a water bucket in here, and it'll fill up all the way across. Now the levels with observers are going to be slightly different, because every time you place a block of water, it's going to remove this water here with those pistons every time those pistons fire. So you want to make one row going all the way across this way. And once those are all source blocks now, then you want to come down, you want to bring it across here, and you want to come down and place a water bucket here. Every time that piston goes off, you just want to replace that until the water goes all the way across, and you'll want to do some on the other side as well. Keep doing it as many times as it fires. Just keep placing the water. Alright, editing Patrick here. So the bottom layer of the bottom observer layer is just gonna suck, but on the other ones you can temporarily just break the blocks on this row. So on the piston layer, right below the observers that you're about to do, you can break those, fill that with water, and that should make this a lot easier, because it should actually just go all the way across now when you place it. So yeah, that's a little fix that makes it a little easier. You can fill that back up if you're worried about kelp getting stuck in there and despawning. Okay, once you've filled the entire hole up with water, you need to pick out a building block. I'm using green concrete because I don't know, I just am, and more focused on making this work than I am on making this pretty. And you want to place blocks along the sides like that. And then you want to fill this with water. You'll want to do this the same way we did the other observer layers. Observer layers are just kind of a pain, so you have to just deal with it. And yeah. Alright, once you've filled up that last layer, you're gonna come over here with your building block, and you want to cover up all of the redstone. You want to make sure it is all sealed in there nice and securely so that you do not so that you don't accidentally ruin your redstone with some of the water that we're gonna have to do. And as soon as you have that done, whichever side is gonna be the back of your farm, you want to place concrete along the top of the observers. You only do this on the back side of your farm, the side that doesn't have collections. So once you've done that, you want to cover up your redstone on the other side as well, and go from there. This side, you want to leave the observers not covered. Next up, you want to fill in this right here, and you also want to go to the other side, fill that in, and you guessed it, you gotta fill this up with water as well. Okay, once you have this all set up with water in here, next thing you want to do is go to the end on the side that's going to have your collection system, so the side there's no concrete on top of these observers. You're going to go to this corner, build up 2 blocks, so you should have this nice little area right here. And then you want to do the exact same thing on the other side. Blocks, blocks. And then I like to do this part with glass. We'll use green glass just to match the concrete, I guess. Maybe this is a gross decision, but you want to fill this in with glass. And then you want to add another layer of glass on top. This is so that the items don't shoot out the front. And then you're going to place 1 water bucket here. And 1 water bucket here. Oh boy. And don't break the block. And this is where your hopper is going to go, right here, for your collection system. Let's go ahead and throw that hopper in right there. And the next thing we want to do is replace this all with... You probably want to do this with blue ice in the first place, because in survival you won't be able to place the blocks quick enough to keep water from getting into your redstone that's covering up. Alright, so the next step is to take some sort of slab. I'm going to use the cut copper oxidized slab. And you want to fill in the top half of all of the top layer of water. Alright, when you've covered that all up with slabs, next thing you need to do is come to the back here, build up a little ledge right there, all the way along the back, and bring it all the way up to the front here, cover up that water source, and on this here. Next step is placing water all the way across here, like that. And when you do this, this will allow the water to flow all the way out. So when the kelp floats up, it'll get pushed over by this water. So the next step is to remove these slabs that you put in. It'll stay flowing so that you can have the kelp pushed all the way across, over the blue ice, into this water, which will push it into that hopper, and you'll have, whoops, there goes the redstone. Oh well, it's fine. Didn't need redstone anyway. Unbuilt, what am I doing? Okay, yeah, I'll be right back. Alright, now that we have removed all of the copper slabs, it is time to put some kelp in our kelp farm. Where you want to put this is all along the very bottom. That's not kelp. Fun fact. That's kelp. Okay. Put this all along the entire bottom layer. And then you want to place it on the top of all of the observers. And then it should start producing kelp. And collecting it. Yep, like that. Ow. My face. The only observers that you do not need to plant on are these ones, right next to the blue ice. Do not plant on top of this top layer of observers. All of the other observers, though, plant kelp on top of. Alright, now that we have all of that kelp in... Oh, I missed a spot. It probably doesn't matter that much, but now that we have all the kelp in... Kelp. Now that we have all the kelp in, we can sit here, we can see it working, and as soon as the kelp grows, get it off. I missed more spots, but you get the idea. Next thing we want to do is add a layer of... Ooh. I like to add another layer of concrete up here just to close things off, make sure no items get out, and then you have a lossless kelp farm. And there we have it. There is our kelp farm. This is the complete build. Obviously, you probably want to add some sort of storage, or maybe, you know, if you want to put a smoker down here and make dried kelp from it, you can do that. Run that into a chest. I have another one over here that's been running for about half an hour, and in about half an hour it's generated 7 stacks. So you can probably get about 14 stacks of kelp per hour out of this thing. Something like that. And I don't know, hook it up to a bamboo farm or something. That way you can just keep it running and get dried kelp to use in any of your builds you want to use it in. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below what you think. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below how you would improve the look of this. Obviously, it's not very aesthetic, but I like it better than like the big, tall designs of kelp farms, just because it only comes 3 blocks above the ground. You can incorporate this into other builds. Maybe this is the foundation for another build up here. Yeah, comment down below creative ways to use this and make it look better. And I'll see you guys next time.